Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Mark Moses Show podcast. As we're always broadcasting from the Anidjar and Lavine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today. Yes, it's Anidjar and Lavine Accident Attorneys. Now, this guy, I'm not sure he knows where he's at, but I think he's in Detroit, Michigan for Magic basketball coverage. He is my great friend, Phillip Rossman-Reich with Orlando Magic Daily and Locked On Magic. Phillip, how you doing today?
What day is it again? Like I'm a little confused. I can see Canada from my window, which is pretty awesome.
No. How awesome was that win for the Magic Sunday night, stealing game one in Detroit?
I mean, some of it was just cathartic. Like sort of like Friday's win was just like, oh, this is what the Magic were always supposed to be. This just felt like a continuation of that, where the Magic just played. I don't want to say out of body because like they still did a lot of things wrong in Sunday's game, but they played the way that everyone always imagined this team could play. And I think like a lot of the frustration for the season from fans, from the team itself has been, we know we can be a lot better than we've been. Like they expected a lot from themselves as much as people expected a lot from them. And they know they've left a lot on the table, but they said throughout the course of the weekend really, that the playoffs are a new season. They're 0-0. They're starting over. They're in the field. That's all they had to do was get a chance. And the path might be a little tougher going through a really good Detroit Pistons team, but they took advantage. They blitzed them, and they showed a lot of resilience in the game. It was a really fantastic win.
It felt like every time Detroit tried to make a run, the Magic had an answer with composure. Did you see that in person Sunday nights?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I expected Orlando to start off fast just because they played a lot of games lately. Detroit had been off since Sunday. Like they had to wait the whole week to get back. And so I expected Detroit to be a little rusty, and they showed that rust going down 13 kind of right off the bat. But what was really impressive was exactly what you said. Every time Detroit made a push, Orlando got the exact shot they needed. A huge credit to like Paolo Banchero. Like Paolo Banchero didn't score a lot in the second half, but one of his shots was when the Pistons tied it, I believe it's 75 or 65 in midway through the third quarter. Paolo hit a jumper over Jalen Duren, and it just seemed to like help calm them down a little bit. And that's exactly what Paolo has been in his career with his best, is he'll hit that kind of calming shot for the team. And so the Magic had that instance happen over and over and over again throughout the course of the game.
Tell me about Franz then. I mean, it's like he was a closer in baseball, buddy. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he was. I mean, look, Franz is still working his way back from the injury and still working his way back from coming back from the injury, missing 47 of 51 games over the course of the last 4 months. And so we're seeing these like little baby steps of him kind of finding himself. He started the game 1 for 7, but I think generally, and I think they'd say this about Desmond Bane too, they generally liked the shots he was getting. It was just about going out there and making them. And so the Magic found matchup advantages. Like the thing about this Detroit team is they do want to bully you. They do want to be physical, but against Orlando, they're kind of small. They're not bigger than Orlando. Like Duncan Robinson has to guard somebody, and Orlando found a way to target him, found a way to like get Franz in the post in that fourth quarter against smaller players, and then just let him go to work. And he made a lot of quick decisions. He made a lot of shots. Had that tough runner at that one point when he thought he got fouled. Franz just made plays, and Orlando saw the hot hand. And they just kept feeding him. Like Paolo didn't score in that fourth quarter. Franz took over, and they did what the defense was giving them and what was working.
Could you make a case? It was a 11-point win, but if the Magic would have hit more of their threes, this would have been a complete blowout by the Magic.
I would absolutely make that case. In fact, I've been making that case to a lot of people. I think Orlando played well. Do not get me wrong. They have to play well to beat a team like Detroit, even if Detroit's at a like B or C level of team.
Yeah.
They did not play as well as they can. You go back, like Desmond Bane was 1 for 7 from 3. The fact that he got, 1 for 8 from 3. The fact that he got 8 3-pointers tells you that something's working. Like he's hunting his shot. We've all complained that Desmond Bane hasn't gotten enough threes in this season. But if you go back and look at the numbers a little deeper, he was 1 for 5 on wide open threes, on threes where the closest defender is 6 or more feet away, the kind of shots that you're trying to get. He would normally go 2 for 5, even 3 for 5 on some nights. There are points left on the board there. And the Magic didn't even get to the foul line. They only had 19 free throws in the game. And I am expecting Detroit to come out like willing to foul, willing to use every single foul they can to set a physical tone on Wednesday. The Magic are get to line a lot more on Wednesday. And so the Magic still have ways that they can continue to improve and ways they can be a whole lot better. They learned a lot from seeing how Detroit was going to attack them. I think they're expecting them to be a lot more aggressive come Wednesday night. And so Orlando's going to have to respond to that. But the Magic figured out a lot of things very, very quickly against that Pistons defense and used their aggression against them in many ways.
All right, Jalen Suggs, he came out, hit a couple shots early. Then they kept giving him opportunities. Hey, you could beat us. Let's see. He was missing a lot of shots. Is he an X factor? Like, if he can hit those jumpers, is that good for Orlando?
I mean, Jalen Suggs is an X factor, period. He's just like him making threes, like even going 3 for 10, him making threes is such a big deal for this Magic team because like the series as a whole, like neither team are good 3-point shooting teams. The Pistons took the second fewest threes in the league. They shot a little bit higher percentage than Orlando, but they don't take a lot of threes. And so I think both the Magic and the Pistons kind of have the strategy of saying, beat us from the 3-point line. Go ahead and shoot. And that's how Suggs got all those 3-point attempts. And the fact that he made those two early, that just sets a psychological tone for the game. If you're a defense and right off the bat, they hit a couple threes, now you have to take that half step over to stay close to the guy. And it's hard to psychologically, the game plan may be, hey, they make those shots and they beat us, so be it. Whatever. That might be the game plan. But psychologically as a defender, when you give up a 3, you want to stick a little closer to that guy. Tobias Harris is the other X factor in the series. He went 1 for 5 from 3, if I'm not mistaken. 1 for 7 from 3, excuse me. The Magic were perfectly happy letting him shoot threes. He didn't make his threes and didn't make them early, especially. And so the Magic were just like, fine, like we'll commit Paolo to stopping Duren, stopping anyone in the paint. If Tobias Harris makes threes and beats us, so be it. And I think that's going to be one of the big push and pulls in the series. So Jalen Suggs hitting threes is actually a huge factor in this series because if he starts hitting threes now, Detroit has to defend him a little differently, and that opens things up for other guys to attack.
You know who also hit some big threes for this team Friday against Charlotte and against Detroit is Wendell Carter.
He was the MVP of the game. Like Franz finished the game with the scoring. Like Paolo had a big game, had a very consistent, like an even-keeled game. Wendell Carter was the MVP of the game. Like locking off Jalen Duren, holding him to 4 field goal attempts. Forget the 8 points. He took only 4 shots. That is such a huge factor for this team. He locked down the glass, kept Duren off the boards, got his own rebounds, set up others for rebounds, set really good screens, was active around the basket. Like Wendell, to me, this series hinges on Wendell Carter versus Jalen Duren. And I don't expect Wendell to win his matchup every time because Duren's a really good player and Carter won it running away on Sunday. But he just has to be competitive in that matchup. He has to give the Magic something. He has to make it a little harder for Duren. And it was really hard for Duren. Duren really struggled in that game Sunday, and Detroit's going to have to do something to make sure he's more involved. But Wendell Carter seems like he's the perfect guy to guard him, and he did everything right on Sunday. He was my MVP. Like his play was fantastic on Sunday. Huge factor in the win. It's going to be a huge factor all series.
Let's go back to Paolo then. I just want to say this. The whole country was destroying him after that Philadelphia. Look, I called him out. It's go time. Do you want to be a star or do you not want to be a star? And I want to give him his flowers. The last 2 games, it was put up or shut up time. He showed up, looked like a leader. I loved when he said, don't drink the Kool-Aid, also post-game. I loved it. What do you think of Paolo after these last 2 performances?
This is the Paolo we know he can be. Like it's like the frustrating thing all season is like we all hold Paolo to a high standard because we know what he means to this team. And you know, I've told people this all season that you know when people would describe the Magic have this problem, have that problem, you know, have this issue, have that issue, I would tell them like you're really dancing around the big issue is that Paolo hasn't been good enough. Like Paolo hasn't taken that step up as a leader, has not been consistent. You know, we could say has not bought all the reports that have been out there throughout the course of the year. When Paolo is engaged, and you could tell he was engaged on Friday by that block he had early in the game. His defense on Sunday was pretty good. Like he was tagging Duren. He had a big role in holding Duren down too, and he's gonna have a big role in the series defending Duren. When Paolo's engaged, and just playing free and playing loose like he was on Sunday, he's a really good player. Like, the reason why everyone is so disappointed in calling him out is because we all know how good he can be and are eager to see him take that next step. And it's been a rough year.
Yeah.
Others may say like he's done okay. Like, he had a career high in rebounds, career high true shooting percentage, career high field goal percentage. He's just been okay because we all know he can be an all NBA level player, and he hasn't played that way. He played that way the last 2 games when his team absolutely needed him. He loves and thrives in these environments. And I think that's re-energized him a little bit. It's just been like, look, what's going to happen at the end of the season is going to happen. We've got these games. My team needs me. I'm going to show up and I'm going to be a leader. And he was a leader the last 2 games and was huge for this team.
He's not Jason Tatum. He's not LeBron. He needs to be Paolo, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, and so I think when he starts dribbling too much and he turns it over, the Magic are in trouble. But if he's just a finisher, and honestly, some of his passing around the rim, the lob pass to Wendell was fantastic.
That was huge. That was huge.
Do you feel that way as well? Go play your game. Don't do too much out there.
Yeah, and look, I think some of the criticism is less about Paolo and more about the way the Magic use him. And I think one of the things the Magic did really well Sunday is like, yeah, he still ran some pick and rolls and was still above the perimeter. Still had some of those over dribbling possessions, but they put him in the post a lot. Like, they got him matchups he liked, whether it was on Tobias Harris, whether it was on Duncan Robinson. They even tried to post him up on just to get rid of Asar, kind of digging at him from the help side. They did a lot more to get him the ball in spots where he can score in a way that they haven't done a whole bunch of this season. And that tells you adjusting to their opponent and understanding how vital matchups are in these games, in these playoff level games. And so Paolo, I thought, was big, just was everywhere the Magic needed him to be. And he played, he played from the spots that he was put in and found a lot of success. And I suspect the Magic will do the same on Wednesday and not kind of revert back to, we're going to over pick and roll him. We're going to depend on him attacking off the dribble. He's going to have to do some of that. That's not going to go away, but they found other ways to use him, which I think are far more effective for him.
Look, that was such a big win for this organization because honestly, if they would have lost, I'm like, they're not winning this series. They're not. It's just, deja vu.
Like, but to that point, let's be real. It's just one game. The Magic played really, really well. And this team has had some wild swings. So we still have a long way to go. And the Pistons are a very, very good team. Like, the Pistons did not win 60 games for nothing. So, I think you mentioned the don't drink the Kool-Aid line that Paolo had in that video. It was something Javon Carter was probably jokingly saying as the media entered the locker room on Sunday. I don't know if he was saying that to other players to remind them before they talk to the media. I don't know if he was saying that to the media to say like, hey, don't gas us up. We still got a long way to go. This is just one win. There are a lot of ways the Magic can get better. There are a lot of things and a lot of questions I think the Magic asked the Pistons that now they have to sit and ask and wonder about in these 2 days between the games. But there is still a lot of basketball left to be played, and the rest of this series is going to be a huge challenge.
I would not be shocked if the Pistons win big Wednesday night. I'm not going to lie to you. They're against the wall. They've got to win this game too. I would not.
The question I have for the Magic, they like we mentioned, they did a great job responding all game long. Every time the Pistons made a push into their lead, Orlando had an answer, and they extended it back out to 8, 9, 10, 11 points. The Magic led wire to wire on Sunday. Like, they did not trail at all. First time ever an 8 seed beat a 1 seed in game 1 and did not trail in the game. Which is crazy. What's going to happen when the Magic are down 6? What's going to happen when the Magic are up 4-5, they give up a 10-0 run, and now they're down 5? This is where the Magic have struggled throughout the year. Like, they've struggled at times to respond. They have these 4, 5, even 6-minute stretches where everything's just hard. And Detroit's defense is really good. Orlando played an extremely disciplined game. Their attack and how they attacked the Pistons defense was really disciplined. Everyone was on the same page. Detroit's going to do a lot to try and get the Magic off the same page next game. It's going to be really physical. They're going to be grabbing. They're going to be holding. They're going to be bumping. There's going to be a lot of fouls. It's going to be a disjointed game. how do the Magic respond to that increase in physicality? They're all saying we're expecting it. They're all saying we're ready for it. But what happens when you actually get punched in the mouth? The Magic hit first. The Pistons are going to respond. How do you respond? That I think, and that's where a lot of 8 seeds fall apart. That's going to be the question for the Magic in the next game.
And we saw a lot of it at times in game 1 where Cade Cunningham's going downhill and he's attacking the rim. They're going to keep bringing that. It's a great point. I'll just say this for everyone watching and listening to this. The Orlando Magic playoff home crowd is one of the most underrated things in sports. That game 3 and 4 is going to be bananas. Are you going to have earplugs courtside?
I might. I usually don't. I still have pretty good ears, I think, but I don't want to damage them too bad. I will note, for those of you planning to go Saturday, it is a blackout. The Magic are wearing black. They're giving out black t-shirts. It's gonna be a time Saturday afternoon.
Oh man, it's gonna be. Look, Friday was loud. It was loud, and then it kind of turned into like, I don't know about you. By the fourth quarter, I'm like, let's go to high school football running clock. Like, just end this already.
Yeah. It was
It was over.
It was okay. The Magic bullied the Hornets, and they bullied the Pistons a little bit, which is not something Detroit's used to. Detroit is used to being the bullies, so expect a scrap. Like Isaiah Stewart wanted to get into it with one on Sunday. I would expect a scrap on Wednesday.
All right, follow this guy on social media. He is with Orlando Magic Daily, Locked On Magic. He is Phillip Rossman-Reich. Thanks for your help. Good luck with your Game 2 coverage. All right, buddy.
Appreciate it, Mark. We'll see you in Orlando on Saturday.